Good that you're watching video on demand of our live reaction to the Hogwarts Legacy gameplay showcase. Out of nowhere, they were like, it's been some time since we had new gameplay. Why aren't we like putting on a big show? And they of course figured out that the best time would be the launch week of God of War. Would have been nicer the week after that. Hey, but still we're excited. I'm joined of course by Joyce and Dennis. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
And as you can see, we have to wait 2 minuten, which is Dutch, but I will refresh it in...
Dos minutos.
Dos minutos, yay.
I will refresh in a moment here, and then we should be going live. Of course, if you're watching later, you can always skip ahead to our reaction of this seemingly pretty long show. PlayStation game size set like 40 minutes or something. But yeah,
that's pretty insane.
It might be that it's like a 10-minute show, and then because I also like developer webcams, so I would not be surprised if like a more dedicated show, and then after that they're gonna talk more about it. We will see. Mm-hmm. Thanks everyone for joining already. Wesley, good to see you there in the chat as well. I see Skata already. Jesus in Pants, that's a very cool name. Welcome.
Did they have pants back then? That is a serious question. I need answered.
I mean, I think this confirms it. So, and how's everyone doing? For me, it feels kind of weird because I'm still like so deep into God of War to already look ahead. Like I'm fine with what we have now. In other when we had the previous state of play, and this whole year has been like I can't wait for games to come out. And now we finally have God of War. We of course had Gotham Knights, and this one is the big one that is next up. And February looks crazy, like Dead Island 2. There are way more titles that I'm now, but Hogwarts Legacy is for me the big one.
You tweeted about it.
I should look at my old.
Oh, Horizon VR.
Oh yeah, Horizon VR. Yeah, PlayStation VR.
When was Forspoken? That's the end of
January,
right?
yeah,
January,
just before.
so,
It's like if you're like looking forward to like open world games, it's gonna be like Forspoken if you have like a PS5. Then the week after that, Dead Island. Then the week after that, Hogwarts Legacy. You have Wolong, I think. Fallen Dynasty is also that month.
Really?
And then in March, we might get Jedi Survivor and stuff like that. I can like refresh.
Yeah, March is going to be the big single player game month as well, with Resident Evil 4 coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's 2023 is going to be
crazy. Yeah, we had rumors for Diablo in April, and then you would think that Mirage is like May, June, and you got like Redfall, which I'm looking forward to, a new Arcane game, of course. Final Fantasy 16. Crisis Core is still this year.
Oh, right.
Yeah, December.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, but let's focus on Hogwarts Legacy. Anything you guys want to see? Dennis, before the stream you were like, this for me, I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say make or break, but you still need that extra push to get fully excited.
It's weird because we've seen a lot of the game, but also we know kind of little about it. Like most of the videos we've done on it have really been guessing at what we're seeing without necessarily like confirmation or backing it up. Because for, I think literally all of the gameplay they showed, there was literally no HUD. So we don't know exactly how things are going to work. And it looks really cool, like seeing your character cast all these spells and then counter enemy moves and stuff like that. And we even saw some other things like their stealth, so you can turn invisible and sneak up on people. That all looks really cool, but it's still like, how much of this is just someone who took a long time to make a really pretty animation, and how much of this is like, this is actual gameplay, and the only difference is there will be a HUD over it telling you what spells are on cooldown, how that works. So I just want to know more about what it is to play like as a game, because I feel like I'm excited by the prospect of this. I mean, anyone who's a fan of Harry Potter, I think, is. But I would also like it to be a good video game, and that's the biggest question mark for me right now. Like, sure, this license is amazing. There's so much stuff you can do with it, and I do have faith that they're nailing the RPG mechanics from what they've shown, like the choices you get to make. I think that little teaser they showed with that quest line with the Slytherin student Sebastian Cello already showed some really interesting choices you can make. So I'm very curious to see where that goes, but the biggest question mark I still have is it going to be a fun game to play? And I hope that we're going to see more of that today. So that's what I'm hoping for. And if that looks good, then I am like 100% sold. I am on board for this.
I think they said combat would be in it because that's my biggest question mark still. Like it looks kind of like a pretty like static, which makes sense. Like you stand still, you cast all these spells, but how does it feel? Like and then I'm not like talking about the DualSense features or something, but just like what is the depth and like is it really like fun to string these spells together? I think the recent State of Play was an amazing showing. I hope it's like I don't think it will be as big, but we will see. At least like they totally show that they nailed the sort of feel of a Harry Potter game and how all these common rooms are of course decorated and stuff like that looks insane. But yeah, it's like also like Avalanche. It's the Disney Infinity team. Like sure that those games were I think actually pretty fun, and I actually do have still some Disney Infinity figurines on my closet here. But
oh wow!
But yeah, they're not like Santa Monica or something where you're like, okay, God of War 2018 was amazing, so this is probably going to be amazing as well. Like I totally think they are totally like, even if it's like the gameplay is. Maybe it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, where the gameplay was like fine, serviceable, but the rest, like, they really nailed the feeling of being the Guardians and the world.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe it will be similar to that, but I hope they do add that extra layer to it, and that, yeah, you can also be really good at this game if you, put the right skills in and...
Oh my god, I already love the music and just the soundtrack
music
in
is great.
general. I hope it gets released on Spotify or something.
The one thing I really hope they nail, sorry for interrupting you there, but the one
okay.
thing I really hope they nail is, and this is kind of a nitpicky thing from my side, but I really like the whole broom flying thing. I know there's gonna be no Quidditch, but I hope that's gonna be fun. Because if it's just going to be like a slow, you just literally float through the air and you just go somewhere, I hope that's gonna be fun.
I hope it's more fun than the Bad Psycho in Gotham Knights.
I didn't want to make the comparison, but my head did go there.
You just had to, at you.
Yeah, but
no, he's right.
Yeah. It is like interesting because this game has to launch on PS4 and Xbox One as well. So I hope that they do not like because that usually means with like flying, and I think that's also what happened with the Bad Psycho, is because it was like not really well done technically. Like I don't think that will be the case for Hogwarts Legacy. It already looks like better in that regard than, for example, the first gameplay we saw for Gotham Knights. But maybe because they can't like load the world in as fast, and they of course had to make it for an Xbox One as well, that it will slow down a bit, or we will see.
I wonder what footage they will show, if it's PS5 again, or it's coming out for PC too, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if they're gonna show
everything.
it for
They
PC
even have a
first.
Switch version, but they delayed it,
so...
and it will probably not come out at one, or like clouds maybe or something.
I hope. But I hope they're gonna show like PS5 again. But I would love to see PC too. I mean, I'm looking forward to see how much they improved from last time.
They will do PS5, but I do think that there's still an interesting question, because this stream is also like 1080p. It's not like 60. Oh, we're gonna switch to 1080.
No, it's 1080p.
No, it's 1080p. But they said
glad that we
4K,
checked.
so it's probably gonna be released in 4K. Because the
Yeah,
pictures
but I
said
mean the
4K.
60 FPS. Will it be 60
right.
FPS? Is this game going to fall in the 30 FPS trap? Because I don't think we've seen 60 FPS gameplay. But might be
Wow,
wrong.
that was so abruptly.
Let's go. And if I should turn up the volume, we're gonna
Ooh,
try
now I
to do
need
it like this.
to know. If there are gonna be Easter eggs in this stream, I'm gonna laugh. Oh hey, it's the collector's edition.
That's my common room. Let's go.
Oh my god, I thought the Ravenclaw one looked incredible as well. Just everything that they showed so far with the teases, I loved it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to. First up, we have our community guest host.
I think I hear yours in the background.
He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto Go, James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go, the other half, my wife Sue, represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this gameplay. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together, the magic of Hogwarts Legacy. Game director, Alan Tu.
Hello, everyone.
And senior environment artist and Hogwarts expert, Boston Madsen. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedules right now to sit down with us to help us show everybody gameplay. So what we're going to be showing you today,
you're on
first,
the money.
the character creator, because it's your legacy, and you have to create yourself when you get into
I was going to say, Joyce, you take the
bring
floor.
your whole authentic self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character
This will be
creator.
my first hour of
dive
game.
into a tour of Hogwarts, and it's just a small tour of Hogwarts, right? Because Hogwarts is huge. Hogwarts is really big. So we're going to be showing you a little bit, but it's still a lot. So, and finally, ending up with combat. A little taste of combat, a little taste of how all that works.
Awesome.
Just a little taste, yeah.
Why just a little taste, though?
Excited to get there. Again, first and
I mean, they
foremost,
already
we need to
showed
get
quite a
into
lot
this
last
character
time.
creator, and James, with you here, we wanted to let you create this character. So, Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh
It's a
my
PS5.
gosh.
We're
All
gonna
right,
do it
I'm
live,
There we
like
go.
as in, okay.
All right, so what are we
I know it's not
looking
live,
at
but-
right here on this screen?
It's PS5. Okay.
These are your presets. So a lot like other games, there's some initial settings that you can choose for your character that just kind of
Oh, they
get
really
them
look
into like
good.
the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
Oh man.
And then once you're in that ballpark, all the other tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for the very first time, that they feel like they have the options in order to represent
Character
who
models
they
look really
are
good.
and
Yeah.
essentially bring
Yeah.
themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Of course, this is next gen,
Oh
so
my God.
but
And
probably
options
will be the same
galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
This is all about you
Okay,
today.
okay. All
Oh,
right,
that's
all
why
right.
it takes 45
So-
minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're
So-
pretty close, but let's look at everything
Okay,
here. You
let's
know,
go over
play
here.
around with some of these options, like really.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab? I see.
Oh.
Yeah, so a lot of the different faces that you saw
Okay.
in the previous
Cool.
screen, all those faces
Look at the glasses.
are choices that you
Yeah.
have.
They got
So
the classic.
You can
That's
now you're just kind
awesome.
of getting into the details in
Yeah.
your face shape, in your skin color, and then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away. Even
Yeah.
though it's an option later in the game,
Yeah.
you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later.
Oh,
we give you
nice.
some options right up front.
More
if you want
glasses.
to have glasses for your
Cool.
character.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow. You guys thought of every crazy.
These all
like
look
that.
really good.
I don't think
Yeah,
my
I
face is
rarely-
bad, but I think we're
Rarely
going
have
that-
that
I
with
think we're
character
that route.
creation.
And down here is this.
Those are your glasses
This
there.
gla-
Yeah.
Oh, so
They even got the professor
go
kind.
Harry Potter if you want. Awesome job.
Yeah.
Oh man. And this is just some of the options, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so through the
moving
course of the
forward.
game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So as part of kind of like gear for the character, there's lots of different classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
I like how it's all Victorian era, though.
Yeah,
Like,
right
it's
up front.
very
Such a
authentic.
good call. Such a good call.
I would
Oh
love
my
to
gosh.
go
All
and
right, so
explore
now,
to see how much I can
we can
unlock.
go fleek on this one with the hair.
I spent a lot
So-
of time
there's
here
so
just, like,
many.
dreaming
What
about
the hell?
my different
Cool.
characters.
I love
Oh
also
my
that
gosh,
it's
the
not
pony-
like you don't have
The
to pick a
thing
gender.
I'm
It's
always
free.
amazed by whenever I see
You can
any
pick everything.
aspects of
Mhm.
Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture And like you even adding the bounce with the hair moving around. Yo, that kind of looks like Hermione a little bit. I'm not even gonna just like Fred. I'm not Fred. And we can just go. Can I go like Tonks purple
Can we
or
go
green
pink?
a little bit?
Absolutely.
Hey!
Yo.
There are quite some options, but it's
This
not like
is so
overwhelming
cool.
because that's
Oh,
what I
I
had
like
with Saints
that.
Row, where it was like,
That is
what the heck am
cute.
I
Oh,
even
yeah.
supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Don't mind me, I'll
little
just-
behind the scenes. I used to have this type of hair like way back, but
was it purple?
I wanted silver tips, so that was the closest I got to any color. But oh my gosh,
Would be cool if they launched the creator
So you
before
literally can
launch
bring
as well.
yourself, Like,
I
there's-
would
there's
love
a
that.
myriad of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now we're getting over here to
Very slick.
play around
Ooh.
with some of the.
These are more subtle options. We've
Okay.
got
Scars, how
freckles,
cool.
moles, different things like when it comes to your complexion, like darker eyes,
Mhm,
maybe like
mhm.
some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man, you guys literally thought of everything.
Can't
With
help but
this.
notice that there is
I
no
do have a bit of
lightning
thought
bolt
with that.
scar
And
though.
then the scars are one of those options.
I
where
mean, the final
Very
one
happy
kind
with
of
some
is,
these
but
stars.
I know
Yeah.
which
Scar
one you
can
mean.
cover
Yeah,
these
Yeah.
Yours.
scar options.
Yeah.
Maybe you unlock more throughout the game.
Wow.
Wink, wink.
Maybe it's an
Look at
Easter egg. That would be
that.
actually really
I
cool.
didn't see that.
Those are my favorite. The eyebrow scars.
Yeah.
Love those.
Yeah. You look kind
It's
of
a
like.
classic.
Yeah. You look kind of
Sorry,
just
there are
like
fireworks. I hope you guys don't hear it.
So now we're over here. Oh man, you guys, this is so sick.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm like, this looks good, but their reaction is like this the first time they're seeing a character creator because
reveal like I want to be with my face.
it's fine. It looks good, but it's not like
I kind of have a big face.
mind-blowing or
Gotta sit
something.
kind of low.
Yeah.
I mean-
there was a good unibrow though.
Literally,
It's at the bottom.
you
They don't show it anymore, but there was a good unibrow in
Oh,
there.
really? That's you about?
Yeah,
Oh,
there it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Hey.
You and me both.
And then this
Click
final
it,
tab
click
here,
it.
This is where you kind of bring your whole character together. You know,
Well, I
this is
guess
where you
not.
finalize everything.
Okay,
two
Nice
voices
voice in
in
your
your
house
house.
here.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
not
I
yet.
get.
A theory.
Just like it more.
But you know, here's
you
where
kinda just
bring,
the pitch.
you choose
Oh.
voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or feminine voice, and then even within that, changing your pitch,
with
the pitch slider.
It's a subtle slider, but
Yeah.
you can hear it.
Oh, that's a really good choice.
And so you can kind
everyone.
of make out the differences. But yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want. You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more
gonna
about
see the
difficulty,
intro?
yeah, with combat and how that plays in.
That is a
But I
big
think
question.
the important thing here is like if for people who aren't gamers especially,
Right.
story mode is a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good at games? Like, no, just enjoy this game. It's,
And I will put expecto and then go. We're good. We're good. Awesome.
and then whether you want to be witch or wizard.
Amazing.
What do you think, character creator? We're good?
I'm good. Let's explore Hogwarts and let's get into some combat.
All right. Through the magic of using a dev kit, we're going to be loading up a save a little later in so that
right.
we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right,
The
Andrew's
magic
got
of dev
some
kits.
gameplay
Okay.
pulled up for
Ooh!
us here. We are
Oh, wow, look at
starting
the
out,
UI.
James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
Hello, friend.
Yeah. So right now we know
Is
there's
that
a lot of
ours?
questions about
I hope so.
about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Mhm.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And
20.
that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelo is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini-map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently.
Like maybe the special magic you can do?
As you travel
I was going to say, I already have an idea.
And for those
this is just a challenge to us.
Because we know they exist. There's also options to remove the mini-map and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
There we go. Immerse yourself.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
Details are good.
And I love how our faces are not blocking anything from the UI, so we're doing great.
All right.
So now we're walking out into...
We really tried making these
How do you feel, Dennis?
dorms to give you that bad.
I am just figuring stuff
The
out.
first thing I know is the music.
I feel like I should know what all these spells are. Top one has to be with Guardian Leviosa,
And
like
I'm calling out
100%.
here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room. Go back to those Common Room videos we released. You'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
Oh my god, that's so cool!
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house. Just
this room, man.
Begin customizing that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the fireplace.
It's got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses, right?
Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Thank you.
I'm ready to leave. I want to see.
Oh, this is though. Like,
well, that was really
looking
pretty.
Back at the past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now, it's so cool.
Very tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Use Revelio right here, because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something there.
Ah.
Yeah.
So that's not one of the combat spells?
These are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some XP for it.
Okay.
And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the corner. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue, I'm sorry.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
So we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide
the
that's
chest
granted
icon.
to you early on in the game. And the
Which
Wizard's
one?
Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before you push forward a little bit, you can see
Show me the
pause
pause menu.
It's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide, and you can see your house kind of crest overlaid over it.
Okay.
Right?
That did not look like this the first time they showed it.
No.
This is way better.
This magical property of looking out into the world around you, and the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors have granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
on the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest challenges. exploration
The
challenges.
menu also
And
very
you can see
cool.
field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah.
So
1%. We unlocked that one field guide page.
that entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're actually going to interact with to help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
Little glimpse of the
boy.
Grand Staircase
Over
here.
100.
Circular staircase.
All the
Match the tower.
portraits.
Yeah.
And I did notice the flue flame just
Flue flame,
ignites
fast travel.
right there, which was so cool.
What?
Yeah.
Fast travel.
Fast travel
Oh.
points there.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Hourglasses.
So
We
you
had
fast travel
to-
by flue. That's really cool.
How much fun was it designing those and putting all
Oh, they're
those in
gorgeous,
there?
but
But
they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
it's a nod
Yeah.
to lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the game.
We
at
but
them.
didn't turn it
narratively-
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod to them as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
Wizarding
Andrew
World.
was teasing. That's the Great
Great
Hall
Hall.
over through
Yeah.
those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Oh, there's a
cool.
flying page. Go get
There's
it.
Another collectible page.
Get it.
You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can
Ooh,
do.
they
and
completed
pick
a
up
challenge. What
and-
do you get?
That's a shot straight
Oh.
from the trailer, too. That part right there. I recognize
We
that.
might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail I put into this is kind
Whoa.
of, I get surprised by it all the time.
Cool.
That's
didn't
a
even know that was a
sentient
thing.
magic castle. So
Oh, man. And we're going out.
We're outside.
Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside of the Great Hall before and after meals.
Looks very big.
and I
looks
love
really
the
impressive.
Way that when the
Wow.
castle interconnects to,
Photomo better be in this.
that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope
Yeah.
to how big this castle is.
And when you see things, like you'll notice a bridge over there, that's a place you can go to and cross. Like
Yeah.
everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
we
Oh,
tried
nice.
so
That's
we put a lot.
Yeah. That
That's
is so
cool.
sick.
Not just the student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so it just kind of the moss and all the trees that
chest
have
over there.
overgrown it, and
Oh, my God.
Don't walk past it.
that landscape. That's
This
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR. And yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I
that.
am going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
What was that cloud?
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts
So-
contains a lot of secrets.
Oh, my God.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration courtyard, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub
Oh, my
of
God.
a lot of the castle.
Even the color visually, you can just tell, okay, green,
Oh, green, go that
greenhouse.
way.
Oh, my God.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way
There's another
around.
one.
That's
This
not
is
to
gonna
say
be
that it's
such a
easy
fun
learn.
place to
All
get
of us
lost
here
in.
Yeah.
still
I can
lost
already
in
tell.
on
It is a
daily
castle.
basis. It's a
Yeah.
castle.
Great point.
Yeah, I agree. Your
I
architecture
love
is
that Andrew's
freaking beautiful.
definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
Someone
He's
who's
got
like
his
switching
face over there.
cameras
It's just
doesn't
like,
understand
yeah,
that we
yeah,
only
yeah,
want to see the
I know.
gameplay, but
It might be that
That's
it's
right.
something
Oh,
that
This is another
people
location
can't
where the
show
students
yet.
can gather, and just kind of chill out.
And an
And,
opportunity to talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
That is a real ass
Is
Harry
everything
Potter
all right?
name.
Yes.
No one would name
I'm
their
sorry.
kid Nellie
I'm just-
Oxfire.
I'm Nellie, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Why would I do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
Oh, hey, cool.
Nice.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So those kind of side quests are really, it's a cool way to interact with your fellow students, with perhaps other teachers,
Horizon
with,
Zero Dawn animation.
Things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a little bit of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions, different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player. And then some of those things can affect things game-wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a nice guy or just being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
I'm curious if the people like in the school will
against the dark arts
change, like if they will stand in different spots and stuff, or if it's like all the same.
Favorite locations. In,
maybe per season.
In the castle, just visually you come in here and just
very good.
The richness of this area.
Very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Why does
everyone hates you? Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
I love the fact that there's a reverb on the audio because they're in a hole.
Sounds as if you caused the smelly
really
situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
So yeah, there are multiple side quests. It's not all combat, of course, but
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and
some people like talk about the conversations, and I actually think it's good that they show this
because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can feel for her.
And we've already seen that in like the main story conversations or the character side quest that it's much better.
Yeah.
And your
Those
opportunities
eyes popping out.
Hello.
That's very creepy.
We have been awaiting your arrival.
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable. They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this, like like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall
Wizard's Chest.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Yeah. They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they mentioned they're a part of the wizarding world.
Every single time there was something that we regretted because we couldn't include it, we also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, you know, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're like,
who is watching us? I wonder.
In Defense Against the Dark Arts class, I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work, because we've gotten a lot of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system?
Yes.
So tell us how classes work.
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And, you know, maybe down there he's sipping some tea with the...
Yeah, okay, so you cannot miss classes.
High society.
It's just like a spot you go to and then you probably hit start class and then it will just start.
Maybe kind of like Fire Emblem
speaking of
houses.
The sound effects.
They're saying it's pretty much the opposite. It's basically classes dismissed when I say it's dismissed.
Little events like that, the brooms going by
I just saw a broom
overhead.
go by. Love that. The data tower was one example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player, help you not get lost. But this is Hesper.
I have seen enough of Hogwarts. I believe it. It looks good.
A name that came from the
Ready for combat.
Just blow stuff
Every
up.
hallway will have a little bit of a different personality.
How do we fight?
Great. I like that.
I don't want to find these gobstones.
Hogwarts has character.
That is a great
Hogwarts
analogy,
is its own
Moxie.
character, no matter where you go. Feels just
Hi,
a
Mox,
little
what's
bit
up?
different.
Sentient castle full of
That
magic
bully
for
with
hundreds
once,
of
yeah.
years.
They did mention bully, so that part is
I heard
accurate.
something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
Oh, this will be great for shorts people.
Oh,
Talk
God,
about
dear,
building on
no.
War II, and that statue over
Not
the
that
side,
guy.
that's
Do you know who that is?
Oh no.
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah,
and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over. And
I think they're gonna switch.
so the sound
already
makes it
30
really
minutes
unique.
in.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that
The
our
hero we
trailers, our
needed.
gameplay, and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls.
Wow, that tower.
So here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlry.
I love
all
the
owls.
fog rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
Use the photo mode to
I
get
also
closer.
I also love that. I
I can
one of my
finally
favorite
see
things
what
about
it does.
Just kind of going around on the
Akio owl?
all those things that I
Just all fly into your hand.
Akio.
go to. that I can visit. I just love.
There is a lot of
the
fast
fact
travel
that-
points. I am noticing that, which is
Scottish
great
countryside.
because
That's a really
the
good
school is
point.
huge.
Closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a
Oh, hey, it's the
fraction
point where
of,
they
this
showed up.
enormous castle. But we're closing it out here in the clock tower, so another recognizable location. But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club, is. That the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Luke and Brattleby here.
Oh, you can
Who's
duel
in a younger
like
year,
right away.
but we kind of like that this.
Oh, that's how they're gonna
he's
show
running
combat,
things.
probably. May I
Nice.
use you as your dance training?
That was not what it said.
No, what I thought.
Why does your head immediately go to, would you like to be my punching bag? What has that kid ever done to you?
All your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat because
Yay.
this is going to be
Your
the
guess'
first
wish.
time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way.
Flipendo.
For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to
that-
open up to the possibilities.
Cast
Yeah.
Accio followed by
we've
4
set up,
consecutive basic
We've set up a
attacks.
training
Okay.
dummy,
Yeah.
and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now.
Oh, he failed.
And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands.
Odyssey, is that you?
And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And
Man,
so
that's a
when it
throwback.
expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional
it's
spell
Valhalla.
diamonds,
One
up
of
to
the two added
4
on,
additional ones. So
Oh,
that
let's see how
you
to
can
do,
slot
I
up to
think.
16 spells, pretty much.
L2?
You get
instantly.
you get
And then
multiple
that
wheels.
helps
You get to
us,
slot multiple spells.
fulfill
So
the
16
fantasy
in
of
total.
combat
That's
and be
insane.
able to
That's
act
4 of
things
them, right?
Very rapidly.
Does that match check out? Yeah, that match checks
And
out.
so you learn over the course of these
probably on
events,
PC, I
know,
think you
how
have
to
like a
juggle
bigger
not just the
roster
spell
maybe.
casting, but also it
Like
reinforces
in
an
PCs.
understanding of
Ooh,
another
that's
feature
cool.
of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one
Levioso.
over and over
Is that
and over.
Levioso?
You can see
Are
cooldowns
you-
on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you
I
to
kinda
kind
get
of
it,
like
I have to say.
juggle
Wingardium
and adjust
Leviosa all the
and
time.
update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them. And that's how you access all those.
Oh, man. It looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
So you use
pull those
Leviosa
combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
Whoa.
Andrew.
That would be
And that's
very
just
OP.
against the dummy, but I mean,
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Yes, please.
Now let's talk about
Relationship
some more
quest,
features
huh?
of the combat system.
Yeah, Moxie,
Hello,
they already
Lucan.
showed the character
Is the
creator
next round
earlier
of
in the
crossed
stream.
Ones all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause
I'm
the
ready.
pause the action
Yeah.
and talk about what you're seeing on the screen because there is about to be a lot going on.
Or you get to fight your companions.
Yes!
Oh my god!
That is awesome.
Here you
Sebastian,
can
let's go!
you can fight with somebody else, some of
One
your
of the other
classmates.
students.
But
No.
in this case, we're not. We want.
Who
that
are you
action
fighting?
field
No.
A little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
Oh wait. Or maybe it's a
So
companion,
apparently,
but you can pick
got
one as
quite
a
the reputation
companion.
'cause they got you up against
Yeah,
3 people.
3, yeah.
That's how it
Off
works.
the jump.
That is also
So
really
I
cool.
can explain this.
Yeah, you're right.
Just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. So
Interesting.
you're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell.
Okay.
So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we kind of put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all this control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator.
Damage numbers.
Actual spell to use to break
you can
the
turn them
different
off, I think.
shields.
I was gonna say, I assume there's an
that
option
way it
to turn
rewards
those
kind
off.
of like that close attention that you're paying.
I was gonna say, it is freeze, but they
We've got this pause here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, you know, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you will be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with the protect.
I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person that you're.
High damage barrel, 40 damage.
Gameplay here, and just gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here.
But Joyce, parrying is gonna be very important.
Also, Vanquisher noted correctly that the combos seem to fill up that little meter that they didn't want to talk about, which we're assuming is ancient magic.
It's kind of like a there's
one-shot Voldemort. There's only one spell that can do that, and we all know what it is.
Can't wait for your build video.
A lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order.
Avada Kedavra one-shot everything in the game. You heard it here first.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know.
This is basically an arena mode. I'm in. I'm in.
The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Yeah, it looked better than I expected. I thought it looked really good.
The shield system is really interesting. You have to counter with specific spells.
Hogwarts and just that little taste.
I just hope they don't discern between blue and purple, because then I'm gonna have a really hard time.
Oh no, yeah.
They'll have colorblind nose for that. Don't worry.
You know, so leaving the castle.
Next time.
Going out here.
Yeah, they said the first.
Yes. You know, they're teasing something.
More owls.
More owls, yeah.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts to the world beyond Hogwarts. And this is not somewhere where we're going today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future.
Okay, so they're coming back with another of these.
That's good.
That
is a heartbreaker.
All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here, but I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen. But I think, James, you may have a few other questions here at the end of things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that, because there's a lot. All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
and also from, I mean, going through this, I feel like you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about. I'm sure.
Elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts, and even combat. So this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our character creation if we don't like it?
So not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color. So kind of like core shapes, you know, like with the body and face, not after the fact.
Okay.
But there are lots of things. There's kind of like a barber shop in Hogsmeade that you can go to, and
Of course,
inside
there's a
of
wizard
there,
barber.
you can customize, yeah.
You can change your hair color for holidays or something, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
And the game features a lot of appearance customization in it, so there's a ton of options there. But that's in terms of like your character and the stuff that you have, the character creator. It's like a smaller set of what you saw there.
Okay. Oh my gosh, awesome. Next question: what kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time? I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most of them are driven by different characters' personalities. You know, some of them want help getting up to hijinks, or some of them want to just explore secrets in the castle because there are new secrets in our castle to explore. And so, so I think there's a bunch of things to do. And when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell. And then the spell is open, you know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to study, so to speak, like with that. But they do all take the form of our mission structure.
As you mentioned earlier. Wow. Let's get into some combat right quick. Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal?
Ooh.
Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff. And then it's through the talent system. When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of like advance and grow and change. And as you spend talents, in some cases, it even changes like the way you approach the battlefield and things like that. So I'd say that's no more true than with like dark arts, for example. And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even how you approach combat and how you think about the battlefield.
I won't be touching the dark art stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have built variety.
Yes.
I hope so. Curious if you can like unlock everything, or
I think I already spotted like 2 different versions of one spell in one of the previous footage things. I might have to go back and see if I can find that.
With this game that you guys have been working on for however long, and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience?
Don't say Hogwarts.
I
Don't
think
say Hogwarts.
I am just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle. And
well, there you go.
I hope that whether you're already a fan,
no, it looks great,
and you know love this game, or this is your first introduction into the world, I hope they just point at each other in the best way possible. And I'm just excited for fans to get to finally go to Hogwarts and feel like they can own it. Live there. I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
It's really funny because I want to give a different answer, and I will. But I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar. Because my favorite thing when running around, playing the game, and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that. But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played the game. And so it's really looking over the edge and seeing location. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right there. And in the movie saying, I know what's around that corner in the film. Like if you go down this way, there's actually a thing over here, and there's this person over here, and this thing happened, and it just adds all this richness to everything that you already love.
And not just that, but you're going to add your own story. So you know what happens around that corner because you did something.
And then the quick answer, just to have something different, is I just love being on a broom. I just love looking at the whole world and just being like, okay, I can just
go there.
That vantage point,
But is it
there's
good?
Just something exhilarating about it that feels very
How
different.
fast?
We'll probably see it in the next showcase.
It's just like,
that would
it's
be
kind
cool.
of incredible.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and wrapping it up,
Firebolt hasn't been
for
invented
me,
yet,
it's
so I'm
just bringing
assuming
the
it's not
community
that
together
fast.
with it, and sharing those stories, because it is
Is
your
there
story.
60
and
FPS?
You are going to be writing.
Oh, I hope so.
You know, this is your unique experience
answer
within
that in the
this, and
Discord?
even within the things that are the same, it's going to be your unique experience. It's different from mine. It's different from. We're all approaching it from different places, and I think that's going to be really cool the way that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but it was a whole lot of stuff. Character creator, a little mini tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat. And we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future. Hogwarts Legacy releases on February 10th, 2023, and is available for pre-order now. But that's going to do it from us. We're going to leave you with a little something else.
It has a
but for
fidelity
now,
and performance mode,
Bye.
according to the blog.
Yeah.
So,
But is that performance 60?
What's
or is
coming?
that-
it doesn't say. It says performance graphics mode. So
Oh, okay.
I don't
But
know.
it is cross-gen, so high chance that there's likely a 60 because that's what we're seeing. Games that are only made for next gen, they have 30 only.
Yeah, please don't make the same mistake as Gotham Knights.
Yeah, we will see.
'Cause I'm worried about that. How pretty it looks, like really.
I do think though that
Hey, this is
with a
cute.
more static combat
Yeah,
system
yeah,
like this, it does. Whoa, level 18.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It-
They're teasing, damn it!
Yeah. They were teasing way more in the intro too. Like there was a shot of a student flying through the Forbidden Forest on a broomstick that I don't think they showed before, and they're just casually dropping that
Literally can be
like
like-
the
They
intro
did
and the
on Twitter.
outro.
They did on
Oh, okay.
socials. I think they had some teases that
Well,
that
Where was
yeah.
that? It was
I
it
don't-
before the character creator?
Yeah, before
Yeah, like
it was
way,
like
like
in the
the
intro.
the intro, like after the countdown.
Yeah.
Also,
like,
I don't watch Twitter, so that doesn't count.
No, but
I mean,
I
yeah,
know
there
that
won't
they
be a
teased a
l-
lot. They
Yeah.
teased a lot, like
a
beforehand.
little bit.
This is like from the
God
common
bless the
rooms.
Hufflepuff common room.
I'm like of two minds now because I'm already sold. So do I need to see more? Because they
Yeah.
are really showing a
this-
lot, and
this show.
Yeah. They teased that.
And I think like at this point, I for one want to applaud how they did this because we're really seeing this is like a sort of presentation or something you would otherwise see at a E3 behind closed doors where you're like invited.
Yes.
And then you can like watch a developer play, and we don't really get those often anymore. And after what
the
happened with
character creator from
Cyberpunk.
Moxie.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you're still watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh.
Oh no.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, yeah.
I'm like already sold. Like, I wanted to see the combat. I think it looks like there are quite some... I think the parry system is really cool because... Yeah, it kind of
parry.
shows... I'm like, after playing God of War, obviously it won't be like as deep and as fleshed out as God of War, but being able to like pull enemies towards you kind of feels like the chains and kind of chaining your abilities together.
The thing my head is going towards is like, of course, because you aren't incentivized to get up close to people because you use a wand for ranged attacks. But what I think is really interesting is that they give you a lot of options for crowd control, so you can lift people up, you can pull them towards you. I assume there's also a spell that pushes people back, so you get to manipulate other people's movements instead of doing something on your own. And at the same time, like, I don't know how much in depth that's going to be, but this whole system of having to use different spells to counter different shields and stuff like that. If you have 16 spells on that spell wheel, like, the variety of things you can do in combat is absolutely insane. So I imagine that you don't want to focus on movement if you have 16 spells at your disposal.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the fun of it. Like, as you could already see with the training dummy, they're really pushing you towards, like, combining spells. Like, lift someone up, hit him with a combo, then pull them towards you, continue the combo. So I think that almost more like a... not a poor man's, that's not the right description, but an entry-level Devil May Cry game or something, where it's like, the goal of this game is to make you feel like a badass wizard. And the way you do that is by being creative, by combining your spells in all kinds of different ways. I don't know if it's going that deep, but with 16 spells at the same time, I could definitely see the potential. And that, I think, would be really cool.
Look at this gamey thing. So here, the character's like, oh, I'm down. She gets up. And it's like, oh, I'm ready to fight. Oh, no, I lost.
Oh, I lost.
It's so classic.
You haven't beaten me yet. Oh wait, you
Yeah,
have.
wait, there's victory on the screen, so I'm probably
like-
over.
Do it
No,
again. Do it again.
Yeah, I think in every Harry Potter game, like from before, I think an animation has been in there. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. It's fun. I also love
it's
the
alright.
music. Like,
Yeah.
like the whole happy, cheery, and the familiar tones of like for what they used for the movies and for the movie games. So I'm actually really impressed they did that. You can watch it in 4K now. I saw Fangers call that out.
Wow.
Awesome.
So we can move over to
Even better.
Hogwarts. Can we go 4K? We can go 4K!
Yes.
Whoa. Papadoopy? Wait.
What was that?
That is JorRaptor speak for I am very excited. For people in chat who
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, it definitely looks sharper.
Yeah.
It looks sharper, but
Wow.
you do see PS4. It does scream PS4 to me.
I mean, it is for current gen, of course, too. So
Yeah. Current gen,
I
last
mean-
gen, Joyce. We're 2 years after the launch of PS4.
Okay, I'm
PS5.
sorry. Last gen and current.
It's time.
Future is
It's time
now,
to let
old
it
man.
go.
It's so confusing because it's still like not a lot of people have a PS5. Like it's so confusing. to me, but hey.
25 million people.
Okay. We're keeping it for last gen and current gen now. Okay.
Yep.
But I think
Yeah.
like what the art, like you do see the art direction that looks like really good.
The art
Okay.
direction is so good.
Yeah, what I wonder, by the way, is how far, if you go on a broom and to explore, will there be some kind of border at
Yeah,
some
of course.
point? Like how far you go into the art areas and like past Hogwarts? Like, will there be a border like Cyberpunk? Be like, you can't go here.
Like
turn back.
the mentor shows up. and
Yeah,
it's like,
that
Can you
would be
please go
cool.
back?
Yeah, you'll just bump into an invisible
They-
wall like
They
magic.
did show
flash.
those in the first trailer, but I think they're still tied to Azkaban and not
Yeah, yeah.
necessarily Hogwarts. So
It's like a
Yeah.
countdown, like transporting to Azkaban in 10, 9, if you like go out of the border. And then,
Every building, like what they told, like they read all the details that you would read in the books and that you would imagine as you read the parts, like with the Hufflepuff room, that they explained like some details that they wrote in the book and that they actually added to the game. I think that's a really good thing.
yeah,
Like what you imagined in your head, and it would look 10 times better on screen.
I'm like of the mind that it's just wild that it took so long for a game like this to exist.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
so obvious to make a game like this. Why hasn't it been done before? Like I'm happy that we finally get it, and it does seem like, oh wow, now you see way more from like of the details.
Yeah,
in
the
closet.
lighting is really good.
Mhm.
Like ray
That's cool.
ray tracing. Yeah, I guess so.
No, that's the reflections.
There
Yeah,
were
but
reflections.
that's-
People were mentioning that, like not in this shot, but
Yeah, it was a question.
like I don't know.
Yeah. I also love the fast travel point that there are so many, and that you just walk past them and you don't have to interact. You just walk past them and you unlock them. That's great.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then you'll figure them out on your map. I also see a lot of icons on the map.
Yeah,
like
you do
like
see
I know
a
it's
bit
from
of
the
reflection here.
Mhm.
yeah, I know it's from the side quests. Yeah, so I think this detail is nice. For someone who likes to take pictures, I would love to do that.
I am curious though if the NPCs will be more than just. Yeah, I think they will just be like window dressing, because also like especially this, they just look like sim characters that they were like dancing all the time. So, like,
I actually think that some of the characters are like alternate versions of what you could have picked in character creation. There was one in particular that looked very familiar. So
I
they
know
just
which
used
one.
that
I'm
to-
gonna-
Yeah,
I'm
it's the
gonna-
one- I think it's the one standing at the tea table, right?
Oh.
The shot that we just passed.
Oh, I was talking about the one that you see when you like go out of your room.
Oh, that could have been it as well.
Here.
But I assume they just kind of used that tool to randomize.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. The guy on the right there as well looks kind
Yeah, I
of.
mean,
familiar.
I think if you now keep that in mind, you will probably see a lot
Yeah.
of those people.
But that is fine. Like,
yeah, sure.
if they skimp on anything, I don't really mind if it's
Yeah,
not
this guy.
completely alive. Yeah.
Because
That is 100% someone's rejected character.
yeah.
He didn't cut it as a main character, so he's just here now.
Here, that's like this guy or so. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Overall, I think they showed a lot more new stuff.
Yeah.
Like also a lot of improvements from like the last time that we saw. Yeah, this like the whole menu. This is kind of what they showed already, but the menu, they changed a lot of that.
Still want to know what the hell Owl Post is.
Maybe
I
it's
need
like
to know.
email.
Yeah,
Like the Mass Effect thing?
our first guess was like a Persona-like message system where you can just kind of exchange notes with your buddies. Except it's not going to be that fast, of course, because you use owls.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
the main story to unlock the
unlock
talents.
talents. Yeah.
Challenges, and then maybe you get like the griffin.
That is like. Oh, sorry. You go first.
I also like that you can change the gear now on the spot, because in the previous footage we had to walk through something to change our appearance.
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
remember correctly.
Was that
So,
there was like a weave station or something where you could also do transmog, but I assume you could always change gear on the fly. Maybe just not apply transmog. But I know what you're saying. I don't.
Make
Yeah.
new pieces. Maybe I don't know.
I see a hippogriff at the challenge. So would it be
hippogriff.
could there be a challenge to fly a hippogriff? To fly a certain, or are those challenges as well? Like you got the broom challenges and then the.
Oh, I assume there are like
The
collect animals
Yeah, that's the thing in the
challenges
background.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we
that
don't
guy.
want to
Wasn't there when we came in, right?
No,
No.
he's a poltergeist. You can just show up out of nowhere.
That's pretty
What
cool.
was his name again?
Peeves.
It's like
Yeah.
if it is Peeves, I assume
what's
it is.
that? Level 1 lock. Do you guys see that?
You can lockpick?
There is oh god no PTSD
Secret.
Skyrim flashbacks.
Oh hell no. Oh, but that's interesting. Maybe that's a talent that you can unlock if you want to lockpick doors.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, see, he's back.
I am curious though if this like happens all the time if you walk in here, or if it's like a one-time thing. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
it looks good. I think I mostly appreciate the openness, because like you also said, Joyce, during this conversation, or like all the kind of side quest conversations, like they kind of look like I do think they look a bit better than Zero Dawn, but they are also kind of similar. It's just
The timing is better. The timing is definitely better
yeah.
between talking.
And it's a bit more body movement, but it's like, I think Odyssey did it better, for example, and that was already kind of like, at one point you've seen all the animations, or maybe it's like more similar to Odyssey, but it's fine, it's serviceable, and we of course, like you said, Dennis, know that for the main quest and other stuff, it will look better.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's good that they show this, so that, like, because I don't think a lot of other games do. And then you start the game, and then, you... Like, now we can get, like, our expectations right, and then hopefully the game goes above it, instead of having this way too high expectation because they only show us the good stuff. And then we see conversations like this, like, wait, it's still a game.
Yeah,
for sure. I think the biggest question that I still have right now is like, okay, so they kind of explained the basics of most of the systems that were going to be, like, even things they didn't show, they talked about how classes work and stuff like that. And now my next question would be, all right, so that's where it begins. Where does it end? Like, how far does it go? Because it sounds like it could go pretty in depth, but like that is one expectation I still have that might be shattered, that it's like not as deep and maybe as complex as I would like. But then again, they're already talking about like story difficulty and stuff like that. This is, of course, not going to be a super hardcore game, so I don't know how much complexity we can expect. And what they've showed already looks like a lot of fun. I just wonder how far we can take things, like with the talent systems. Like, how crazy can you customize your spells? Can you make a one-shot Voldemort build? Like Voxy was
Probably
saying.
not.
Like,
Probably
I
not.
don't. I mean, Voldemort didn't exist yet, so that's a problem. But
They still didn't show the Ravenclaw companion, because they showed like the Griffin, the one for Gryffindor, the one for Slytherin, the one for Hufflepuff. and
there
like,
is no Ravenclaw companion because they're still too busy reading books. That's what I think it is.
Oh shit!
Just, you can talk to them, but they'll read on anyway.
I mean, I'm gonna pick Ravenclaw for my playthrough, so I'll probably meet her or him or they, whatever pronounce they have in the game. But I'm looking forward to it.
That is a good thing. Yeah, and this, like, that transition is so cool.
Yeah, like the deep, like I don't know how you say it in English, but like you saw that you actually went into the thing. Yeah,
It's bigger
level
on the inside.
18. Look at those spells on the right. Like they had this different one with the hand.
Oh, there's like a not interesting, a lot of interesting icons right
We're
here.
nitpicking here.
Yeah, and we can gather a lot from this. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can use the L1 for the
Whoa,
like the two
combo times 10.
Yeah, I think you can actually maybe.
That's pretty cool.
I hope there's not a trophy where it's like get 100 times combo.
Yeah. Yeah, then you probably have to go
There
to
might be.
the training dummy
Yeah.
to get.
But it looks amazing, and I hope they're gonna that another showcase is around the corner. But when? Because they said it. It's the
Yeah, I
first
think
one.
January. Then you would think then maybe like do one in January and then around launch. Although like in January it's already almost launch. But I think this. I mean, they could still do one for Christmas because of course Harry
Yeah,
Potter
maybe
and
next month.
Christmas is kind of
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
that
Yeah.
they show like the winter season or something.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it, and it looks stunning, and I can't wait to see more. Like, yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. I'm already sold. So, do I want to see more? That's kind of a question that I also popped into my mind. But maybe it's specific things that I still want to see to just get a glimpse of things.
To round it out, one thing I want to see more of, and we do get kind of a tease of that, because obviously in Hogwarts you're like running around. It's more like only exploration and interacting with the environment. But sort of the final thing they showed here with that level 18 character, that looked like more of like the open world stuff that I like, where you can come into an encounter at any point. I hope there are like a lot of areas like that, where you're like in the wilderness and then at any point you can be attacked like this.
Oh, this. Yeah.
This looks like you're just exploring, and then at one point, for some reason, these people want to attack you.
Yeah, I
you're
agree.
like, sure. I would love to see more of that. But yeah, I feel that there's like a lot for everyone, and for me as more of like a comment person, like there seems to be like some things, but I think that it will be just as balanced. Like there will be just as many mini games and social stuff and sort of collectathons versus actually using your magic, which is fine for a game like this. It's like a big audience, of course. That will do it for us, of course. Thanks for watching. We will be live reacting the next one as well. And maybe I will be like this all the way, but then we will still... because I don't want to see anything anymore. And you guys didn't see it, but I covered my eyes.
We believe you.
I'll watch for you. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Is it bad?
Jordan, it's combat. Okay. No, don't
Come
watch.
here.
So yeah, thanks Wesley, of course, for being in the chat there, and we will check out our God of War content, of course, spoiler-free tips and tricks. We will have way more coming your way, and when this game comes out, and before that, we'll of course cover everything as well. So you're already at the right place, and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be really, really cool. We will speak to you soon. Thanks everyone. Goodbye.